Chapter 1 My Regret. So cold. Blood splattered on the side of the road. I lost everything. I had a life that most people would kill to have. I was the daughter of the wealthiest billionaire in the country. In a modern romance novel. My father adored me, and so did my other family members. But because I transmigrated, I thought I could just not play my part in the novel's plot. Because I inhabited the body of the villainess. I thought that all I had to do was to be kind to the female lead to avoid my bad ending in the novel. But instead of just killing me, they killed my entire family. In the novel The CEO's Daughter's Revenge, there are two girls, Margot and Jane. Among the two of them, the protagonist was Jane. Jane was the illegitimate daughter of Morgan Stone to Celine Judahs. Jane was abandoned by her family when her mother died, while Margot was the legitimate daughter of Morgan Stone to his wife, Laura Croft. Margot was raised and spoiled by their father and her mother's family. The story started when a transfer student named Jane Hunter entered my school. With her good grades and natural beauty, Margot was the villainess who bullied Jane relentlessly until college. While Margot was abroad to further her studies, Jane joined their father's company as an intern. The male lead, moved by Jane's resilience, fell in love with her and broke off his engagement to Margot, which angered Margot. She did what you would expect from a villainess. In the end, she went to prison. And Jane married the male lead and got introduced as Morgan's daughter. Although Morgan didn't accept her, she was still persistent by the end of the book. You think things should have ended well for me if I had been nice to Jane, right? Well, that's where you're wrong. Thanks to my kindness, things went smoothly for Jane, but this time not only did she still took my fiancé, but this time she managed to take the company away from me with the help of the male lead. Jane sabotaged all my projects, and because she was known as Morgan's daughter, although Morgan still hadn't accepted her, she held power within the company. All of a sudden, my uncle's company started having troubles, which put strain on our company. My uncles were arrested, their families ruined, my grandmother had a stroke. If that wasn't enough, Morgan's plane went down while he was on the way to a business trip abroad. Finally, I was hit and run. Just as she thought she was about to die, Jane's car stopped in front of her. When she stepped out, instead of helping, she smiled and said, "Oh, no, the one dazzling princess is now a beggar." How does it feel, Margot? To have no one to help you, no father, no uncles, no nothing. Why? You killed your own father? Of course I did. He deserved it after he abandoned my mother and left me at my aunt's care while his little princess lived a life of luxury. Oh, sister, I almost forgot. I should thank you. I couldn't never have done this without you. You were so gullible that you let me took whatever I wanted. Thank you so much for being stupid. Jane then left Margot to die on the dead of winter. No, I should have listened to my father, uncles, and grandmother. I can't die like this. I can't. With her last breath, she prayed to the gods to give her a chance to save her family. When she opened her eyes again, she was a baby again and back in the past. The deafening sound of a woman's yelling pierced to my ear. Morgan, how could you be so irresponsible to leave my granddaughter alone like this? I would get a nanny, first thing in the morning, he said flatly. That's not good enough. Either you get a hold of yourself, or I'll sue you for neglecting my granddaughter. Margot stared at the ceiling. What the? I'm back, it looks like the gods have answered my prayers. After her grandma had already left, Morgan cried to her and apologized. I'm sorry, baby, Daddy didn't mean to neglect you. I promise I won't let anything happen to you. When Margot was born, her mother was kidnapped upon being discharged from the hospital. Prior to her kidnapping, she had been in a car accident causing her to have amnesia, while her father Morgan was abroad on a business trip the previous year. He left her alone with the house, servants, while Laura's father, Mr. Cross, was recovering from bypass surgery. His daughter Laura went missing, leading to him having a heart attack. When Laura was found, she was with Morgan's half-brother David drinking a milkshake which Laura was highly allergic to, leading to her having anaphylaxis and a miscarriage. While driving to the hideout, Laura tried to resist the kidnappers, and the car ended up jumping off the cliff. Morgan's wife was declared dead on arrival on the hospital. Morgan blamed himself for his wife's kidnapping because the kidnapper was none other than his half-brother David, whom he had been in a conflict with for years. Being a baby was quite relaxing. All I had to do was eat, drink, and sleep. This time I plan to be the perfect daughter. So much so that Jane won't even dare to show her face. On my 3-year-old birthday party, planned meticulously by my grandmother. Upon learning that I could already read and spell, she couldn't help but brag about me. One of the guests in the party was the male lead, Henry Smith. He is the same age as me, yet he is dumber. This time I don't plan to be engaged such a stupid man. In the original storyline, her arranged marriage with the Smith was due to her grandmother seeing that she liked Henry Smith. This time she paid him no mind and continued eating her chocolate cake. Seeing Margot eat her cake quietly, one of her aunts said, "Oh, look at that. I wish Helena was as behaved as Margot here." Helena is one of Margot's cousins. Her mother Laura had 2 older brothers. The older one inherited the family business, while the younger one left to start his own company. They were both happily married. While her cousins had siblings, she was an only child. After her mother's death, her father refused to remarry, instead focusing on his daughter and the family business. Margot is the only heiress of the billion-dollar Stone Corporation. Margot is always behave when there's cake in front of her. Her grandmother said with a smile. Like this story, comment, and subscribe to be notified when the next chapter comes out.